been about 6 months of really focused, structured Korean. But I've been looking at it for a few years, sort of on and off, Duolingo, um, some Anki, which was actually quite good. But anyway, we'll go through what I've done so far and what the plan is for the future. I'm probably like a beginner, elementary level. So the way I started was with the alphabet Hangul, and there was just this YouTube video that seemed to make it very easy. It was a few 10-minute videos. I watched one a day. I started with number 1, the next day 1 and 2, then 1, 2, 3, all the way up to about 7, I think. I'll leave the link for the playlist, but it was literally just the playlist has like 10, 11 videos, but the ones I did was just the alphabet ones, the Korean alphabet ones. And yeah, so I went 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, all the way up to 7, and then I did 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and just kept going like that. And that was maybe 2 weeks, and I knew the Korean alphabet. You could probably do it much quicker, but I felt that way would stick better. And then I used Duolingo, and that was really good for the alphabet and just an introduction. So I reckon a month could have been spent on that. I spent quite a bit longer on Duolingo, which probably wasn't a great idea. I feel like it's good for the very intro and not much else. Then the second sort of phase, that the next step up, was Anki, and I did the 500 basic Korean words on that. You can do 10, 20, 30 a day. I think I'd done about 20, and that took a month to get those done. This was all pre the structured stage as well, just in little blocks. So I'd do like one thing a year ago, and then a couple months later the next bit, and it wasn't very together. And then when it started to get structured, that was kind of like my third part of it. That was, I took a load of online courses before the main structured ones, and then I found a local one that goes all the way from beginner to advanced. That's when it started to get it stuck a bit better. I mean, I'd already done a bit, so there was already the basics there, and then the lessons all sort of built on top of each other. So I've done the beginner ones of those. There's 4 courses. I kind of skipped the first one as well because that was alphabet, and I read through it. It all looked good, and that was enough for me. And then we did 2, 3, 4, and I'm waiting on 5 now. In the middle as well, I did this grammar Anki. It's about 2,500 words, but I've only done sort of maybe 1,000 because I kept getting ahead of where I was in the class, and it was confusing. But the stuff where I started was right along with the classes. That was very useful in sort of prepping my brain for it and then relearning it again after I'd done the course and just solidifying it. Then this brings us up to kind of now-ish, maybe a month ago. I started looking into the podcasts and books. I tried Lingo Pie. Didn't really work for me. It was, well, when we were looking at it, me and my wife's Korean, she was like, that's not correct. So that kind of put me off a bit. It probably still would help learn, but some of the words were not the right words, and that was not working for me. Then I went over to LingQ. That's the newest one I'm on. Maybe a couple weeks on that now. That seems to be about my level, the beginner stuff. I can read it quite well, but I need to sort of up my listening. I need to up mainly my listening, really. That's the bit that's lacking at the moment. Maybe a few more words for the vocab. The grammar will all come with the course. I'm fairly confident. Just keep doing the courses and we'll get there on the grammar. But I did some ChatGPT stuff as well. Just got it to re-go over my books. I put in all the pictures of the vocabs and the what you're going to learn in this book page, and that was enough for ChatGPT to kind of quiz me a bit on it. I did that for a couple of weeks just to further help remember all that stuff. And then the LingQ's easy for the reading, just the listening. It's kind of been clicking. at each step. So the alphabet, that was kind of the easiest bit really, and then the 500 words, and then more stuff makes sense. And it's only now, after 6 months, I'm starting to get quite a lot of the words in the reading. So that's now why I'm working on the listening stuff. And these are all beginner words, so nothing crazy. And the stuff that's still tricky for me are listening and speaking quickly. Like I can write down a few sentences about, I want to eat, I like this, let's go to the shop, sort of thing. But I need to write it down, work the grammar out, and then I can read it. If I try to read it straight off, it takes a few minutes to think it up in my head. So yeah, I think it's just taking a step at a time. I feel also I could have done it much quicker if I had more time. Like the Korean structured lessons, it's these books, and I'll put links to those as well in the description. And there's about 16, and I'm in 2 now. And the class seems to do one every couple months. There's like a month on, and then about a month before the next class. So realistically, if you were doing it yourself, you could just go one a month. You'd lose a bit of the retention, I think, the extra read over, because you go class, do the class stuff, then you do the book at home, and then you do the exercise book at home. So it's kind of 3 runs through, and you're talking for classes of 4 hours. So you're having a 4-hour conversation, listening for 4 hours. You've got some accountability there as well, bit of homework. So you could do it off your own back, I think, and it would probably still get you there. And then you could do 1 book maybe a month, maybe even 2. So you could get through most of it in the year probably, although I expect once you got to the harder books it might be a bit slower. Now the future plans, and these might all sort of intertwine. I'm not sure which order I'm going to do these in, or if I'm going to do them they might be swapped out for something else. A lot of stuff I start and then it just doesn't suit me, and I think that's probably the case with most people. I think you got to find a thing that works for you. Not everything's going to work for you. You might have to go a different path. I like to read quite a bit, so the LingQ stuff really works. But if you do like sort of Netflix and things like that, then maybe the LingoPie would work for you. So yeah, future plans. I'm looking at italki and Preply to do a couple sort of live conversations to see just how far I am on that and how far I need to go. I want to get 100 sentences to go in as well, but it's like hello, goodbye, I'm hungry. Like there's a few you've just got straight away in 1 word, 2 words, or 3 words. That's not really the focus yet. Just have a few simple sentences. I can actually build quite a lot of sentences now using the first 2 books if I just think about it, or get the books out and have a quick look through. Like I can recall the words pretty good off the page, and then even some of them now are kind of in my head. Like 안녕하세요, 감사합니다, those type of words. I'm probably butchering the pronunciation, but that's the next thing I'm working on with the italki and the Preply, depending on which one works better for me. And the other thing, kind of more of something that would be really interesting, would be to see if I can actually watch any Netflix shows. Now I did jump in with a particularly difficult one, and I had all these words, and then suddenly none of those words are coming up in it. So maybe I'll go back and watch. There's like a cartoon on YouTube, Jadu, I think. And then there's some children's Netflix Korean stuff that maybe I'll watch. That might be a good start back into it. And then I've got the 12 more Korean lessons in-person courses. That's like 2 years worth to just get me to topic 4. Again, I think you could do that quicker on your own maybe, but then you might lose patience with it. Like the classes are quite fun. You're meeting new people, well, old people now, or you're meeting people and then you're hanging out and you're chatting, and there's various people are giving the ways they're learning, like different books that everyone's using. So it's quite useful for extra info on stuff. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So alphabet, 500 words, some structured lessons, more Anki for some grammar-based sentences. It helps you kind of get an idea what's going on. Then LingQ, and that'll get you some probably very basic Korean. And then future is italki, Preply, 100 sentences, a Netflix show, and just carrying on with the courses. I mean, they're easy to do. Just keep going with those. So that is the plan. I also did take a topic 1 and 2 test. They kind of merge them together, and I got the topic 1. That was probably 2 courses ago, maybe 1 course ago. So I could look at the 2 again, but I think that's going to be 4 more courses. Every 4 courses is a topic, but yeah. So I might actually go over that in a future one. We might go through the topic online test and see how I do another time. Now I'm a bit further ahead. And obviously there's loads of stuff I can show on here. I can get Anki up and running and show you the 500 words and that. I can get the grammar one up that I used. I mean, I'll try to link it all as well if I can find it. We can go over a few LingQ stories. The point of the channel is really just so I can go over some stuff a bit more, and it will give me another opportunity to learn stuff, maybe a bit deeper if I'm going into it and sort of investigating and researching it. But anyway, cheers everyone, and see you in the next one.